Hi, I'm Frank Ragsdale, and I'm the coordinator for the NATS, National Music Theater Competition that happens every other year. And this year in 2020 in New York, it will be our fifth, and it's held at the NATS Winter Workshop. And I'm here today talking to Nathaniel Sullivan, who was the 2018 winner, and just wanted to ask him a few questions. Hi, Nathaniel, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Frank. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk about this amazing competition.
Great. We're great and so happy to have you. So would you tell us a little bit what your experience was like with the competition?
Yeah, absolutely. It was, first of all, a great experience, and I enjoyed being there a lot. The application process was super smooth. I think so. It was the fifth one, but was this the first competition there was some kind of like first about this last competition, wasn't there? Or
yes, I think in years before it had been held in the summer at the national conference, and we changed it to the winter workshop because so many people work in the summer and were unable to do the competition. And now that we're in New York for the winter workshop, it's really great because, of course, we're around where everybody wants to be if you're doing music theater.
Absolutely. And that was another great aspect of it was I'm living in New York. I'm not in New York right now. I'm in Massachusetts for the summer, but I live in New York. And so I was there. It was very convenient to get there. And the competition itself was honestly a blast. I mean, all of the other competitors, we got along really well. We were like hanging out backstage and just like having a good time supporting each other. And we got to, meet the judges afterward, which was great because the judges were, very lauded, great people in the field. And so that was a great experience to get some feedback from them, both for the semifinal round and also for the final round. So that was really helpful as well, just to get some feedback on, okay, this is where I am now. Now where do I go from here? So
perfect. Yeah. So have you done other NATS auditions before?
Oh yeah, I have a long history with NATS. I went to for my undergrad work. I went to University of Nebraska-Lincoln, where I was taught by Elisa Bellflower, who is I know on the NATS board, I believe, or I believe she's and so she taught me for musical theater and classical both. But all that to say that all through undergrad, from freshman through senior year, and even a little after senior year, we did the NATS district and regional competitions, auditions every year, and both the state level and the regional level. And so I was in the Nebraska State NATS competitions for those years, and then we did the West Central regional auditions as well, both for classical and musical theater. So long history with NATS.
Great. And now, of course, we have the national competition for the auditions too that happens. So that's a wonderful aspect that we've added since I was also doing that. This was probably, I know it was before you were born. So, but anyway, so that's a nice aspect of it. And so did you do the New York round audition or did you do the YouTube audition?
I did let's see, I'm throwing myself back now. I believe I did the YouTube audition. That's right. I did the YouTube audition because even though I was living in New York, I was going to be out of town for literally the day of the audition in New York. So I had to do the YouTube round. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. And how was that process?
It was honestly very straightforward, very simple. I just, luckily at that time I had access to a recording space a little bit upstate, not in the city. But so I just went up there and found one of my pianist friends, and we made a couple recordings. It took like an afternoon to do, and then uploaded them and submitted them. It was about as straightforward as an online submission can go, I think.
Great, yes. Well, wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that it was an easy process. And then did you use the staff pianist, or did you have your own pianist when you did the semifinals and finals?
So we used, I think, most of us who had studied with Elisa, because Elisa was there actually the day of the audition, that whole weekend for the conference. And so we had worked with a pianist in Nebraska named Zachary Peterson, who's wonderful, absolutely phenomenal pianist. And now he lives, he's working at Eastman, so just upstate New York. So he came down and played for several of us actually who had known him and worked with him in the past. So we used Zachary.
Great. And I know, that the semifinals and the finals were on the same day. How did you feel about that? I mean, did you find it taxing, or how was it for you?
In a sense, I found it actually kind of nice because it sort of kept the momentum going, the sort of performance and adrenaline momentum. So in that sense, it was really helpful. Vocally speaking, of course, it's a little taxing to do, that much singing in one day. But as at this point in life and in career, hopefully we know how to take care of our voices and take care of our bodies. And so it wasn't, it wasn't unbearable. I didn't get to the end of the day thinking, oh my God, I'm exhausted. Please let this be over.
Right.
But and if anything, I feel like it sort of was kept that momentum going a little bit, which was nice.
Yes, and of course, for people that come from out of town, it's nice to not have be there for a longer amount of time. Right. And of course, sometimes you'll be doing 2 shows in a day if you're doing music theater, so it's good to get in practice, right?
That's right. That's exactly right. It's like doing the matinee in the evening. That's exactly right.
Exactly. So I assumed you just stayed at your house and came to the hotel.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay. And so for those that didn't, the hotel was where you could stay, and the ballrooms were in the hotel, so it was very convenient. There was a practice room, and I believe we're at the same hotel this year, so maybe we won't have a snowstorm this year, and a lot of people won't get there.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm just going to look at my notes again because I made a couple of notes. So what did it feel like to win? Because of course you won.
Oh my God.
And the winner gets $5,000 cash, $1,000 gift certificate to Hal Leonard, and a package to help with management. So how was all of that? How was the win?
It was completely surreal, first of all. I feel like many people experience this, of just going into a competition and not having the expectation at all of winning, and that was very much the case. Obviously I was hopeful, but it was definitely a very welcome surprise. And the $1,000 gift card from Hal Leonard was incredible, and I was able to build my music library, which was a huge, that's something that is not the first thing that you think about when you think about a professional musician or actor, and just how important it is to have your own personal music library. And that was hugely beneficial to me, and I've utilized those scores ever since. And the cash award was also amazing and allowed me to spend the following summer at Tanglewood, which is where I am again this summer. But it allowed me to really have the support to spend a summer out of the city developing my craft. So that was hugely important as well. And it was totally surreal. And as I mentioned before, it was also incredible how supportive the other competitors were. You don't always get that in a competition, I feel, or in any sort of competitive environment, but everyone was just very supportive of each other, which was very refreshing and great as well.
Great. And so you talked about you're at Tanglewood right now, correct?
I am, yeah.
And I'm sure you're having a great time. I was looking at your website and looking at the performances that you'll be doing, so it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you'd like to tell anybody that may be thinking about doing this competition?
Yeah, go for it. You know, it's an amazing opportunity, and it's also just, you know, being in New York City for that conference in particular. It's sort of a hub for some very influential, important people to meet. And so, in addition to doing the competition, you also have the opportunity to maybe sit in on some of these workshops that are happening around the competition if you attend the conference. And it's just a really incredible opportunity to see what it's like. And especially if you don't live in New York, I think it would be a really good opportunity to get there, just to get there. Because, yeah, for musical theater, that's the place to be in the United States, at least, right? And so, and it's a great opportunity to get there, to meet the people that you need to meet, and just sort of dive in. So I say go for it.
Great. Well, it's great talking to you. I wish you all the best, and I'm sure you're very busy. So thank you for taking the time to have this little chat, and I hope we see a lot more of you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Frank. And thank you again for all that you do for the competition and for NATS. It's really just an amazing opportunity for people in my position and people like me all over.
Great. Well, I love doing it, so thank you.
Good.
Have a great day.
Thank you, Frank. Bye.
Bye-bye.